edition of the High Desert Ranch channel. It's the end of September, and I figured I'd get one more video update to you guys and take you along for some of the evening chores. And we've got a few things for you this week. We're changing things up over at the hog pens, and gonna go check on the cows, see how they're doing, but also give a little bit of update to the hogs. And there's a lot of feed to be shuffled around there too, and so I'll bring you along for that, but also show you just kind of what goes behind the fattening up hogs and the amount of feed required and things of that nature. And I've got a few questions as far as like the setup on the hogs, and so you'll be able to see some of that too. So come along and join me and let me be your ticket to help escape the ordinary here on the High Desert Ranch channel. Alright, so it's September 30th, and it's been a good month overall. It's been a lot busier than I wanted it to be, so there's a reason why I really haven't been able to give you guys any video updates. Just because, yes, I have been that busy. So it's been good. I don't know how it's been where you're at in the country, but for us, it's been a warm September. The beginning of the month was unusually hot, but we've had some decent rain, just a little over an inch, which I know doesn't sound like a lot, but here in the high desert, it is quite a bit. We average about 9/10 of an inch, so just under an inch, and we've gotten just over an inch. I'll have to check. I'll even put a graphic up right over here. But so things are good. Today is the last day, at least here on this piece of ground, the last day where we get any sort of ditch water coming down. So then it kind of goes all to stock water, which I'd have to inquire how that works as far as where it's not on a turn basis as far as irrigation, where everyone takes their turn, obviously. And so I'm not exactly sure how all that works. So right now I'm just coming to check up here on the cows and see if they need a salt block, because not just a salt block, but it's also a mineral block too as well. It's Redmond mineral salt, which is some of the best salt in the world. In fact, it's better than like even sea salt, Himalayan salt. It's naturally occurring just south of where we're at here in southern Utah. And so I'm going to see if they need some more of that. But yeah, I'm just grateful to have you along. It's one of those things of sometimes I think, oh, this is boring or mundane, but for some of you, you find it interesting. So I think, I might as well record what's going on. But as far as the weather is concerned, October is one of those really big transition months. I mean, September is, but October especially. And you can see, I'll put a little graphic up right here, just the kind of temperature difference that we see from September versus October. And it's quite large, actually. So we're definitely a little bit warmer than we normally are. It's one of those things of, and I looked at the 2-week forecast, and we're still supposed to be warmer than normal for October, and it's dry, which we were really wet last year in October. In fact, we got over 2 inches of rain, which October's our wettest month as far as precipitation. We have about an inch of rain or snow, whatever falls. We do get a little bit of snow, believe it or not, right here. So it looks like they have converted over to just straight stock water. But crazy fact, we normally have our first freeze like second week in September, and we haven't even froze here. So yeah, when I say we've been unusually warm, I'm not joking. So it's kind of a little strange. It's been great because our garden, we've been able to get quite a bit of harvest, all the other folks around here. So that's been nice, but like I say, it's cooling down, just not as much as maybe we would have liked or have hoped. So I'm coming over here to the cows, not quite sure where they're at. Kind of varies sometimes. It's a big piece of property, but I just wanted to see if I needed to set out another mineral block. Which, if you don't know about mineral blocks, it's something I would recommend getting. And it looks like it's a 50-pound block, and there's still plenty. So, but gorgeous day, gorgeous sunset. This is here in the high desert. Still no permanent seasonal snow. We have gotten a very light dusting, which again, usually you have quite a few dustings at this point, but nothing so far. All right, so I checked on that. The cows over here good. I'm gonna take you over to the hog pen and show you what that's like doing all that feed, and also give you a Blackie update. As you saw earlier, we had to take him to the vet, get him checked out. He was losing a lot of weight. Our little bottle calf from way back in March of 2021, and he's got a process date of late November, along with some other cows, and so it's important that we get him back up to weight and healthy, which he seems to be doing pretty good. So let's swing over there and show you a little bit about Blackie, and then just exactly what goes into feeding. How many hogs is it? Well, 26 hogs. So let's head out, shall we? Every single day. It's a far cry from the low 90s, the crazy low to mid 90s that we had here at the beginning of the month. We're actually still warmer than we should be, so I'll be curious to see what this winter brings. Being here in the high desert, over 6,000 feet, we, believe it or not, it's a desert for a reason. We get about 12 inches of rain, or I should say 12 inches of precipitation annually, and that includes the water content in the snowpack. And so we get right around 6 feet of snow here on the valley floor, and these mountains behind me get at least 3 times that amount. So it's important because when things dry out in the summertime, that's what gets us through, in addition with the summertime rains. So even though we've gotten some great summer rains these last few months, we're really hoping for the opportunity to be able to have some great snowpack this winter time. So that's kind of where things stand. We'll see what the month of October brings, but I think you'll be quite impressed to see just what we've done over at the hog pens, and I'll talk a little bit more once we get over there. Pigs going hog wild right there. right. Whew. Piggies are hungry tonight. See if the sow will actually get up on the fence like she normally does. There you go. Now, this is why I tell you to build a good, strong fence for your hogs. Otherwise, you're going to have a whole bunch of problems. They're going to be out with the neighbors, and you don't want that, so. All right. All right, so I'm just going to go down the line. Start here with these piggies. And there's 12 of them. We're going to end up moving them over, half of them over into this hog pen. And they're fixing to eat, so let's get them. All right, Mama, let's get you something to eat. So, something that is interesting that I'm trying that seems to be working pretty well, I'll talk about it once we get a little bit further down the line, is some folks like to auto feed their hogs, which, if I can get the camera right, some people like to auto feed. For me, I like to do trough. At least it's looking like that's the best way to do it. And the reason why I say to do that, I gotta stop being lazy and get these troughs wired up. Which also to wire it up, you'll see the before and after. Why it's good to have stuff wired up to your fence. And that is because that way, like you saw, I'm not going all over the place trying to chase down their trough pens. And so I've got these wired up, and I've got that wired up. These smaller ones, things kind of drug out a little bit, and so I just haven't been able to get to it. But tomorrow we're gonna hit it hard and get it going. So with these guys, they're what are they, maybe 12 weeks, I'd have to look. But with these hogs, with these piglets right here, they're averaging about 5 pounds a day, which is good. And like I say, I'm gonna do them as a control group because the batch that I have down here, they're a few weeks apart, but they're looking pretty good as far as weight. You really can't tell the difference. So with these guys, I've got the trough feeder, and then I've actually got an auto feeder right here that holds about 175 pounds. And I just want to see if there's going to be a major, with her, the sow, she's not bred right now. I'll breed her in November, late November around Thanksgiving. She only gets about 5 pounds a day, believe it or not. She'd love to have more, but that's all she's getting. This boar I also bought. I bought him 10 weeks. I'm gonna have to check the records to see how old he is now, but he's coming along quite nicely. And I'm just feeding him up as fast as I can until I get to about a target weight of about 250, and then he'll be cut back to just a maintenance diet of about 3 pounds a day. He won't like it, but he'll still put weight on at 3 pounds of feed a day. And so here is the group, the very first group that I bought. And as you can see, they're doing quite nicely. This group right here, they're the actual smaller ones. And I want to see if you can tell a little bit of difference, because there was a considerable difference. All right, so as you can see, a little bit of dust. These are the older group right here by about 3, almost a month. And then here's this other group that I've fed once a day, and then I've just been upping the feed as required. Whereas these guys can just get it free range from the auto feeder. So I can't see a huge difference as far as size, even here in person versus on a camera. So I'm kind of leading more to that method as far as just feeding them by hand once a day, which the nice part about that is it gets you around your hogs. You can see what's going on, and you can just look at different things or issues that might be happening. So anyways, these guys are hungry, so I'm gonna get to feeding them now, and then we'll go. I heard Blackie mooing in between takes, so we're gonna go check him out and give you a little update with Blackie. Have these guys on a good ration, a good feed ration of 18% grower mash, and I have the sows on a 14%. So just because she doesn't need to put on weight like these hogs do. So because of that, there is a little bit more cost associated with the 18%. Man, this wind from the north is not helping with this auto feeder. The nice thing about the auto feeder, because I did both, the auto feeder versus the trough, is with the auto feeder, it helps to protect the feed a little bit, and especially because the hogs aren't going to eat it all at one time in one sitting. And so the nice part about that is it not only helps protect it, but then the birds, you'd be amazed at how much the birds, how much they'll eat. So that's one of those things of, man, if you can avoid that that extra expense, do so, because they'll eat you out of house and home, any kind of bird. So it doesn't matter. All right, so I've got that all filled up. Like I say, these are the guys that I have on auto feeder. Just, I wanted to see it as a control. I think I'll get a little bit better control with the hogs way down that way, those piglets. But this auto feeder holds about 175 pounds. It's not bad. It's, I picked it up for a pretty good price. Yeah, Blackie's saying, where's my feed? So these guys, they need their feed. I put a little bit in the trough and then a little bit in this auto feeder, their daily ration. Both these group, they're up to about 7 pounds of feed per day, and this barrel's got to be filled up. And one of these barrels will hold about 400 pounds of hog mash. Blackie's like, come on now. You can see him back there. He's wanting his nightly supper. So each one of these totes is, you know what, the hogs got their feed. Each one of these totes right here is about, I've got about 2,000 pounds of feed. Some I have 2,500 pounds of feed. So that, and one of these other videos too, I'll do it where I'm curious to see, just how much Blackie weighs. I take his weight once a month, so I'll be curious to see how much he dropped. But also too, I'll do a measurement for the hogs, just to see how big the hogs are, because the hogs, I've got to check, but they're going in, when are they going? Sometime in December. I need to call the butcher shop just to see exactly how much, just exactly when I'm taking them in. So, but they're putting on good weight, as you can tell. They're not doing too bad at all. So it's just a little bottle calf Blackie that I worry about. Oh boy, just getting him up to snuff. He looks like he's still limping a little bit. Man. Come on, buddy. So I've actually got to check with the vet and get him some meds, just to so he can heal up just a little bit better. As you can see, he's thinned out a little bit. So he's a good cow. Had him since he was just a day old. But he gets his grain and his feed, so it's just been a crazy week. So but tomorrow we're going to finish up this hog shed in the hog pen and make that transfer over there. But so it's just, sometimes that's how it goes. You do what you can when you can, and you know, you just go from there. But these guys, I think I said they're eating about 5 pounds a day of that 18% mash. So they're loving it. They're growing well, and things are going well. Things are actually cool. That wind out of the north is really cooling things down. But I appreciate you coming along. If you have any questions or comments as far as concerning hogs or whatnot, or even the cows, let me know. Dimensions on some of these sheds. Check out some of the other videos that I have. But I'm going to get to work because I've got a few more things to do before it gets dark. I've got to give them some water in their troughs, these hogs, and get a few things buttoned up before it gets not only too dark, but it's pretty chilly. I should have brought a jacket. Silly me. I've just been used to these abnormally warm temperatures, but we're praying for more rain and for snow up in the mountains. But I look forward to bringing you along for the month of October. I'm busy, but we're going to try and get some stuff loaded, and I got to talk to Shane to see if we can actually get a YouTube Live where we can interact with you a little bit better. You can ask some questions, we can share stories. I know Shane's got a whole bunch that he just love to share. So with Shane and I, you put a nickel in us and we'll give you a quarter's worth of conversation. So anyways, this is me signing off. Appreciate you coming along. Remember, you only get so many trips around the sun, so decide what it is you're going to do and get after it, because you won't accomplish anything by just sitting around on the couch thinking about it. So I hope that you were able to come along and find out just what it's like to live the high life here in the high desert of the Intermountain West, only on the High Desert Ranch channel.